Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome. Glad to have you guys here. The Apple event is about to start. Of course, you guys know that I cannot show the broadcast on today's podcast, so I am just going to be live reacting. My camera will cut on here in just a moment. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. If you guys are watching it too, drop a comment. Let me know that you're actively watching it too as well. It's kind of weird because I got like the background music from the podcast playing in my headphones, as well as the Apple event also going on too as well. Um, you watching before work? Awesome. Watching it right now. It's just the little intro music and the GlowTime Apple logo just vibrantly moving around. It's kind of funny. Anyways, hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Ooh, I just shook my desk. Anyways, yeah. So QR code right there. If you guys want to sign up with Helium Mobile, get 1 month for free. Use that right there. It's also in the description too as well. They still got some music playing on the Apple event, but they should start kicking it off here soon. There we go. Got that lively music going on. I'll full screen it on my end so I can see it here. Let me know if you guys think, is it going to be, do you guys think that it's going to be a lot of AI talk? Let me know. Yeah, I could rock to this today. I have 2 left feet, so don't ever expect me to dance. Copyright? No, because the music you're hearing is from Restream. It's not from the live stream. I have nothing of the live stream that you guys can hear. Little opening intro. Got everyday people doing everyday things, emphasizing AirPods, Apple Watch, iPhone. This is like the great way to open up any type of keynote, is to just like, show people of all walks of life. I wonder how much they pay people to be in a Apple ad. You guys ever wondered that? Oh wow, cool. So a little synopsis of each person that's in this ad. I guess how Apple products has worked in their day-to-day life. Uses FaceTime to see his grandkids every week. Uses the captions on iPhone to communicate with his family. Nice. Uses the ECG app on the Apple Watch to check his heart rate after surgery. Yeah, so a little emphasis on like each person in this opening scene, how they've used Apple products to benefit their lives. Use Apple Fitness Plus to get into the best. Whatever, I missed that. The little sky that's gonna go to the top of the Apple building again. Looks like it. We're zooming in. Nope, we're going into the building at the Apple, but no, we're going outside. This giant rainbow in the center complex in the field. Apple Watch, AirPods, and iPhones. There it is. First time said it. Artificial intelligence. That's number one. We're going to do a count of how many times they talk about AI. Apple Intelligence. The first iPhone's designed from the ground up for Apple Intelligence. So Apple Watch, AirPods, iPhone. Well, let's see if there really is constant innovation or if it's just a minor incremental update. See, that's a question that everyone is, well, not a question, but that's the one thing that like a lot of people are already kind of poking fun at with Apple. It's just like very similar release, just minor incremental update, which I think is kind of like a lot of tech companies now. There's not drastic upgrades in innovation when it comes to these things. So I think we've kind of hit the glass ceiling when it comes to mobile tech, and not one company has punched through just yet. They may show the new SE. Turn it away. You're fine. My wife is getting ready for work. So they actually may show the iPhone SE. We'll see. I could just get into the beat. I definitely can get into the beat. I am simulcasting, so if I'm looking all over the place, that's why. Apple Watch Series 10 is the first discussion. My name is Jeff. No. Jeff Babe is going to tell us about the new Apple Watch. He's at the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm sure they're using drones to get all these shots. They got a drone with an iPhone on it. How big? Huh? What's that, man? Oh.
Speak Spanish now? But I'm sure you don't.
It's kind of funny, right? Like Google goes with the Pixel Watch 3 and 3 XL, and Apple's like now they're making the bigger, larger display on the Apple Watch ever. Ion X glass is the display build. Wide angle OLED display. So we got 40% more brightness on the Apple Watch. That's nice. They got a new watch face called Flux. The Flux capacitor. That's a nice watch face, though. I have to admit, that is. I love how deep descriptive they get with just like how the Apple Watch is made. Right. They all look the same to me. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to see. I mean, as far as like the design of it, yeah, obviously it's going to look the same no matter what. But we'll see how much bigger the display is and the curvature to it. I guess they got a much better speaker put into the Apple Watch. It does look thinner though from its profile compared to previous Apple Watches. It doesn't look as thick. "50-meter water resistance." So they got a larger and an efficient charging coil in the watch. 30 minutes of charging gets you up to 80% battery on the Apple Watch Series 10. And lighter weight, which is good because you definitely want a smartwatch that's lightweight. You definitely want that. Polished titanium. Grade 5 titanium. Okay. Natural gold and dark slate are the 3 colors for the titanium version. There's a display face that interacts with your movement to make this moving effect like the sun is shining on it and lighting up certain areas. I guess that's cool if you want it to look like, you know, a standard normal watch. Now they're talking about the chip in the Apple Watch. S10 chip. So I guess this watch will be capable of Apple Intelligence. I'm waving on hi to all the people that joined in. So I guess taking the call from the watch, it has background noise suppression, so your vocals will be clear through the call on the watch. Apple Watch now gets to translate. Stumble is going to tell us more about the health features on the Apple Watch. So far, so good because they haven't like specifically got stuck to Apple Intelligence. You know, that's what I was worried about with this event, was that it was just going to be a lot of AI. Kind of like when the Apple iPhone 12 launched and they just had Hans Vestberg just mention 5G through majority of it, and then Tim Cook was talking about 5G, and it was just, I'm glad they didn't do that. Whoa. So the Apple Watch now, while you're sleeping, did she just literally say that it can detect when you've ovulated? Ooh, it's got something in it regarding sleep apnea. Of course. For sure. Yeah, that's true. Hmm. I mean, I pretty much get that readout in my sleep detection with Fitbit. That's pretty good though. Like not knocking the tech, not knocking the tech or anything like that. It's actually pretty cool that they have this implemented in. For those people that like enjoy using Apple products and stuff like that, have something like this for them. That's actually pretty cool because it is true. A lot of people really don't know that they have sleep apnea. I mean, it's not like people tend to like put a camera on them and record themselves sleeping to see if they toss and turn and if there's points where they stop breathing through their sleep, which disrupts the sleep because obviously your body fights to wake up. I wouldn't have opened the whole health exercise with that statement. Have we really fallen off the block so bad that we depend on a smartwatch to keep us active in life that we can't actually do that ourselves without it? I mean, I would have opened it and been like, the Apple Watch is like the greatest companion for your day to day activities and your active life. I would have opened it that way. That would have been at least, that is cool. So if you're diving, your watch can actually tell you how many meters deep you've gone. We may find out later on in the keynote. They haven't said nothing about iOS 18 being fully unveilable. I mean, it may happen right after this. Like sometimes Apple does that, like after they do their unveiling of their new iPhones and everything, and then they're like, iOS 18 should be available now to install. And if it is, we'll see. You have to wait for the SE4. They may mention it today. I know we are definitely getting unveilings of the iPhone 16, 16 Pro, and the 16 Pro Max. My wife makes me blush. Think about it. If they had this thing that can tell you you're off course, the guys from the movie American Werewolf in London would have survived and never gone off the trail. Personally, like I want to watch that movie later today. But personally, if I went to a place called the Slaughter Lamb and everyone was kicking me out, I would tell them I'll leave in the morning. Ain't no one in that pub can do anything about it. I wouldn't walk off in the middle of the night and walk on the trail. After people tell you, stay on the trail, beware the moonlight. Like, come on. Biggest display, grade 5 titanium, wide angle OLED, brighter display, sleep apnea detection, thinner body. You got fastest charging, 30 minutes, get you 80% battery. Then watch OS 11. What's the price? $399 for GPS only, $499 for GPS LTE. And it's available on my daughter's birthday, September 20th. Now they're talking about Apple Watch Ultra. Stan the man. Dear Apple, your biggest fan, Stan. I'm sticking with my iPhone SE3 until no more support updates. That's not a bad way to do things. We shall see. But see, even though like they made the Series 10 thinner, honestly, most people are gonna go for the Ultra. Like the diehard Apple fans, are gonna go with the new Ultra to say that they have the Apple Watch Ultra. And just me speaking out of context here, but the Apple Watch Ultra, if I had that thing, I think the main thing that people would see me doing a lot of is pretending I'm talking to Zordon, because it kind of looks like a Power Ranger wrist communicator. Other than it's not circular, and it doesn't have that gold bar that goes across like a green dial. But it looks big enough to be like, you can talk to Zordon. Makes me wonder, are some of these things like, with the compass and everything like that, are those features that they're only going to be pushing towards the Apple Watch Ultra and not the Series 10? I mean, you could cloud backup things.
Bad dog.
Hey. What you do?
She knocked the pasta and threw it on the floor.
My dog Velvet got in trouble. So they got like all these little things here. Satin black for the Ultra 2. So the Apple Watch Ultra 2 has a satin black color. Titanium Milanese loop. Oh, man. So no pinching hairs with this watch band. Natural and black. Now we're going back to Jeff. So black titanium, most accurate GPS. You got the Hermes Paris watch band. Yeah. I think the next thing they're going to start talking about is the new AirPods. Of course, you guys know they're going to save the iPhones for last. It'll be available on my daughter's birthday, September 20th. Their commitment to be carbon neutral by 2030. AirPods. Removing the SIM card slot from a phone would be a deal breaker for me. I hope that's not the trend that spreads like many false terrible ideas. Yeah. The new AirPods. They had to have super glued that in a person's head because I have AirPods 3s, and if I rock my head, they will fall out. I couldn't do that leaning tip that she did and keep the AirPods 3 in. They'll fall out. I wouldn't say it fits everybody around the world. Using words, I wouldn't choose to describe the AirPods. Okay. We're getting somewhere with it, I guess. The AirPods 4 has the new H2 chip. That's probably one thing I would say that AirPods got going for it. They do got good sound. They got very good sound. Personalized spatial audio. I will still say this though. One of the best wireless earbuds I've ever used are the Tozo T6s. These things are absolutely amazing in sound quality, call quality on them, wireless charging, Type C charging port. They're pretty good. You can find these on Amazon. I'm surprised some of the people in the ads are not using the new iPhone 16. If I was creating this and creating the B-roll footage for the live stream, just as a teaser, I would have thrown some iPhone 16s in people's hands in there. All right. Get to work safely. Love you too.
Disappointed too.
She's taking the walk of shame.
Yeah, she ate the rice across the road.
The box?
Yeah.
She got it?
They need to
Yeah, yeah.
in the right one.
Message a big tree too. All right. Hasta luego, taco. Bye, love. Drive safe. Yeah, don't forget your water flask. I would need those just in case. Okay. Love you. How much does what cost? Are you talking about the AirPods or are you talking about the Apple Watches? They haven't thrown the price, or at least I didn't see them throwing the price out yet for the AirPods. Oh, that's cool. So the volume will drop when you start speaking. That way you can hear a conversation and then automatically go back to the way you had the volume set before you were speaking. So that's pretty cool, smart. Nothing better than, not having to tap any like touch sensors to dial down the volume and raise the volume. Active noise cancellation. It's up to 30 hours. Battery life with charging case. So they reduced the packaging by 30%. They removed the plastic wrapping around them when you take them out the box. $129 for AirPods 4, $179 for AirPods 4 with active noise cancellation. They'll be available on the 20th of September as well. This would be the perfect year for my daughter if she was an Apple fan, because then all these things are releasing on her birthday, so I could just pre-order them and then give them to her for her birthday. Yeah, you don't have to pop out your AirPods to hear anything. Pretty good. Oh, the headphones have new colors. The AirPods Max have, I think they said 3 new colors. Just doing studying while watching? No worries. I wish I could show the event on here, but the last time that I did that 4 years ago and Apple struck my channel. $549 for AirPods Max today. They will be available on September 20th. So I think September 20th is a magical date. We'll just say that. AirPods Pro 4? Yep. They're not talking about it. It's funny to have a better fit in your ear with the tips. You got to get the Pro model. Right now, I have my Boost Infinite SIM and my iPhone XS. I decided to use that. I'm working on a video for Clapper for that. Funny thing is that my youngest son is using an iPhone 10, So like today, he said we were twins because our phones look the same. I got notification that my wife just left the area. We have active tracking on each other, so we know where every member of the family is always. So they're talking about a study that they did regarding the AirPods Pro. So there's 3 major health features for the AirPods Pro 2. Prevention Awareness Assistant. Uh-huh. No, Boost Mobile's not closing. Trust me, if you know, side note, if you're a Boost Mobile customer and you're worried about Boost Mobile closing down or anything like that, first of all, more than likely Boost Mobile will be sold off for another company to buy and run down. If they happen to actually close down, if you're a customer, you'll be notified within 30 to 60 days before they close down, giving you the chance to find a different carrier and port your number over. So they won't just shut down Boost Mobile like that and just turn the lights off on everyone in the dark. They have to notify every customer. All right, B-Tech, have a great day at work, buddy. Get to work safely. So I guess with iPhones, with AirPod Pros, you can do a hearing screening on yourself, so you can check your hearing. So it's called the hearing test. So once you do the test, it'll give you, like the hearing from your left ear, your right ear, and then the combination of them. So you'll know like if you hear more on the left or on the right. Does Best Buy sell refurbished as new? I just had an experience. No, they don't. Anything that's at Best Buy that's considered or called open box is either a device that was returned and the box was damaged from the person that returned it, like they returned it within like 3 days, or it was one of the devices that they put on the display in their store, and so they sold it open box. As far as refurbished, like I don't know if Best Buy has refurbished devices in store. I know you can. I think you can buy refurbished devices from Best Buy online, and they're listed as refurbished. Yeah, they are. That's the only reason why I can't like trust me. If Apple was lenient about this, I would have had this on here where like my place filler video is. I would have had that there for you guys to see it at the same time with me. And I feel weird because you guys can't hear what I'm hearing from the live stream. So it's not like I can be like, did you guys hear that? Because that would be like the most stupidest question to ask you guys. I have a place filler video right here just to have it there. So it wouldn't surprise me that like certain people who tried to live stream it had got dinged pretty fast. Apple is watching. So as far as me, they can't ding me for talking about it. My new iPad has a faint scratch mark. Hold on. There it is. It was sealed in cellophane as new. Um, that could be from Apple themselves. If it was sealed in cellophane and it was labeled as brand new, yeah, I've never known Best Buy to take something that was refurbished and put it in an iPad box and reseal it and sell it as brand new. That's like a major lawsuit. Yeah, I've had reasonable good luck buying open box from Best Buy though. My Surface Pen, Lenovo Duet, Pixel 4a fabric case were all open box in good condition. Yeah, I got. Give me 1 second. I had lost connection for some reason. My apologies. My apologies. I had lost connection. I don't know why, how. But now we're on the iPhone. Jeez. It just so happened I lost connection right when they started talking about the iPhones. But we see the colors. The colors that you guys see here on the video right here are no different. Cayenne to tell us more about the iPhone 16. Here we go. The 85% recyclable content to build the iPhone 16. Hey, Everything Tech, what's up, man? Welcome. Ultramarine, teal, and pink, along with white and black. So those are the colors. I have this biggest question. Maybe some of you guys that are like more into iPhones and Apple products than I am, but let me ask you guys this. Why is it that they always tout about a ceramic shield on the display, but I find iPhones to be the most flimsiest with impact? iPhone 16, by the way, display can go from 2000 nits brightness all the way down to 1 nit. 6.1 inch on the regular, 6.7 inch on the plus. Action button on it, which is what was on the iPhone 15 last year. So that replaced the silent switch. You press it for translation, song identification. So this is multi-purpose action button. You can program the action button for like certain time tasks, right? Like if it's at nighttime, the action button will be where it engages a flashlight. Yeah, definitely take it in and have them talk about it. We'll have them explain it. Plus, two, I believe with the serial number, Apple should be able to see if it was ever purchased. Because anytime that you've bought an iPhone or an iPad and you've logged in into your Apple account, they're able to see that the device was active. Here we go. Here's camera talks. Is it going to have the A18? All right, here we go. They're going to be talking about the A18. Right. Yes, yes, yes. I like that. We're jumping 2 generations. So yes, the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus will get the A18. It is not going to get the previous year's chip. But it makes sense that they do that because they're going to be pushing Apple Intelligence, and so obviously they're going to need the same chip that's going to be in the Pro models to run on the base models. Second generation, 3 nanometer technology. Yes, a lot of processor chips are going to that. Qualcomm, Tensor, now the A Bionics. That's 6-core CPU. Got 2 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores. Apple Intelligence, we're at 7. So it should be 60% faster than my iPhone 12. Wow. It's faster than all their competitions, right? So faster than Qualcomm or Tensor. And it challenges PCs, challenges their processors. That's a bold claim. It's got a 5-core GPU. Oh, here they go. They're going to be talking to Apple Intelligence. Let's see how long they spend on this. If there's going to be a new Mac Mini release, that's going to be at a different keynote. This keynote specifically is just for AirPods, for Apple Watch, and for iPhone. Oh, here we go. Are they going to spend a lot of time on Apple Intelligence? Because they did talk about that at WWDC. I think we pretty much get the idea of this. People are just waiting for iOS 18 to be released, like the full-fledged iOS 18. Mm-hmm. I'm almost done with this 1 gallon water. I've been drinking on this, so right now they're still talking about Apple Intelligence. private cloud compute. For those who are curious about the security of AI, they're talking about it right now. The Abonic processors are over-engineered. They're over-engineered, or they overly hyped. But I have fun doing this. Actually, thank you guys for coming in and chatting, because I have a need to talk about tech. Trust me, my family, I'll explode their heads if I overload them with all this jargon. So I appreciate you guys coming in and watching, because it gives me somebody to talk to about this. So all their data centers run on 100% renewable electricity. It's another step towards being, full carbon neutral by 2030. All right. Express yourself, relive memories, prioritize and focus, and get things done. So they're doing the same thing that Gemini is doing. You got writing tools. And I can tell you guys, I've tried Gemini AI in Gmail, natively in Gmail. And I had it draft me an email response to a possible partnership with the company that I'm going to check out their product. And it really created me a nice 5-paragraph response email off of just a 1-sentence description of what I wanted it to do. So yeah, that it does come in handy when I'm super busy and don't have time, but I do want to have a response done as soon as possible. I don't want to make it wait. So AI does have its benefits. With AI, you can have generative AI, which will make, yeah, I figured that's who you are. But you can use AI to create like emojis and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. That's something I don't think was ever mentioned with Gemini. The AI is also, pretty dangerous too. I mean, I've been reading a lot of articles, which I'll probably do a podcast maybe Thursday, really just kind of like addressing the dangers of AI that us tech nerds kind of forget to, disclose. Because AI is pretty dangerous too. People are already starting to do some dumb shit with AI. Trust me, it's bad. Sorry, I don't find the tech boring. It is the people that are talking. I sometimes find their voice to be lackluster and like a voice that could put me to sleep. Yeah. Higher than the competition usually. They're talking about AI integrated into your iPhone, and they'll prioritize messages in your notification feed. So the higher priorities will sit at the top. It'll simplify things. So if you got like a 4-paragraph email and it's really talking about like, opening a new credit account or whatever, it'll simplify that into like a 1-sentence, kind of giving you an idea of what it is. So if it's important to read right away or not. So did they make Siri smarter? Because that demo that the girl just did was actually pretty cool. She spoke natively, when we make little mistakes here and there. And Siri was able to understand and follow along with, her correction and adjustments. And it was able to give her the information about the Fine Arts Museum. What up, Sneed? Welcome in. Right now, they're just tapping into Apple Intelligence on the iPhone 16s. They haven't even unveiled the iPhone 16 Pros yet. They're still on just the regular 16s. They just mentioned the 4 new colors. The two new colors, the two normal colors. So it's black, white, teal. I forgot what they called the blue one, or pink. There's pink. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And they talked about the A18. All iPhone 16s will have the A18, obviously, because they're pushing Apple Intelligence, so they're going to need the same chip on all four new devices. They haven't mentioned how much RAM it has, but they did, talk a little bit about the CPU and the GPU and whatnot. Okay, we're at 22 for Apple Intelligence spoken in this event. That's not bad considering what Google did with Made by Google. Everything was AI Gemini. So localized English will come to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the other 3 places they mentioned. Chinese, French, and Japanese and Spanish with Apple Intelligence will be rolled out next year. Now it's all about AI. Samsung and Apple has now jumped on the AI train along with Google. Visual intelligence is now what they're talking about. So there's a camera control on the iPhone 16. It acts beyond just being a shutter button. So you click to activate the camera, you point it at something, you click the button again, and it gives you, it pulls up information about it. So what we have on Google Pixel and Samsung with the circle to search, they're doing it with the actual button on the iPhone. So if you point it at a banner for a concert, it will give you the information about the concert, and then you can actually add that to your calendar. So then you know that there's a concert you bought tickets to. It works with on-device intelligence and Apple services, their servers, with their cloud protection. So I'm going to go on a whim and say that you're going to have to subscribe to Apple Intelligence because it didn't say nothing about it being cloud AI based. Whoa. He just said, the guy was pointing it at an electric bike. He goes, you could just point at it, tap it to search Google. What the? Whoa. Did they mean to do that? Or, I mean, are they not vested in Safari anymore? Or did they, in order for that to work, did they had to do some sort of deal partnership and concoct something of their own that kind of relies on Google Lens? Because it's like a combination of Google Lens and Circle to Search. That's what the camera action button is really like. But it still just shocked me that he made mention of Google. He's like, you can point, tap it, and search Google for it. Like, oh, you really want to mention your rival in your event? Because I can tell you the Made by Google event, there was nothing mentioned about utilizing Apple for anything. So now the camera control button, they're going in on all the multi-functionalities of this camera control button. Here they go, overhyping the button. But I hope they located this camera action button where it's comfortable for majority of hand sizes. They're showing how the button construction is, the sensors inside connected to the logic board. So there's a lot of, they're showing all the components to making this. To me, it's just, worthless because I don't think Everyday people give a shit how the button is constructed and what materials are used. They just want to know how it works. I guess they have to make this event what, like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So yes, showing you a diagram and how it was built. So the action button, if you light press it, so if you press it to activate the camera and you light press it, then you can adjust the zoom or zoom out. If you press it twice, you can bring up zoom, you can bring up shutter speed. So it's got, a little bit of like, pro modes. You can adjust the aperture rating of the camera. You can go to 1.8 aperture all the way up to, I think I saw 3. And with the camera action button, if you tap it another way in portrait, you can actually share it directly to a message thread. Everyday people don't watch these events. Apple is pandering to the tech nerds. Yeah, I know. But still, tech nerds convince their family members to buy stuff. That is absolutely true. That is the case. And I'd like to take this small moment to offer, my apologies to the other creators who just got struck about 25 to 30 minutes ago by Apple. For other content creators, understand you cannot share this Apple event live unless you have permission from Apple. If you don't, you'll get a channel strike. Do not accept the warning, though. If this is your first time getting struck by Apple, do not accept the warning, though. Just offer to delete your live stream and you won't have a strike warning on your channel. However, if you make the same mistake again, instead of getting the warning, you will actually get a first strike. Keep that in mind. 12 megapixel telephoto, 48 megapixel main camera. Apologies, it just got stuck. I'm sorry if that crashed on you guys. Maybe Apple's like trying to like knock it down. I have no idea. Yeah. Well, what I was saying before the internet crashed on me, making the jump to total, getting 5 lines. Anyhow, what I was curious about the iPhone 16 with the camera is the main camera sensor like now wide only, where it can condense itself like a regular wide angle lens, ultra wide, because now you're getting that. And if they did that without the need of having 3 cameras, that is fucking cool. On top of that, they gave it to the base model, which is going to have 3 sensors, but that is cool. I like that. We'll see come January, right? Isn't January Samsung's event, or February? My data is really bad today. I do like the way that it looks now with just the little pill housing, having a square housing. Yep, they're talking about the Photos app, redesigning it and how it functions in iOS 18. Fingers crossed, are we getting an actual release date of iOS 18? And double fingers crossed, is it today? That would be so cool if it was today. Because iOS 18 goes far for everybody. RCS is not the main thing that makes iOS 18 pretty good. There's a lot of other main core features in iOS 18 that a lot of people is implemented on two sides. Obviously implemented through Apple, also implemented through the carrier. The carriers have to have that supported on. I like the turquoise or the cyan. Yeah. Camera and Apple Intelligence features. Gaming. They've updated the logic board. They got a thermal substructure to dissipate the heat, made from 100% recycled. I wonder how many people are going to compare today's keynote with the iPhone 16s, and one of the key points they're going to bring up is the fact that the Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL has a vapor cool chamber, and the iPhone doesn't. I would find that to be a little bit weird though, because iPhones haven't really overheated on me. I mean, I haven't used every iPhone there is out there, but as of last night, I put my SIM back into my iPhone XS, and I'm using that for a video on Clapper for a nostalgic video, and it doesn't heat up. My iPhone 12 does not heat. My iPhone 10 doesn't heat up. My iPhone 7 doesn't heat up. So that's probably why they don't need a vapor cooling chamber. Honor of Kings World is an exclusive game announced at today's keynote event for the iPhone 16 about gameplay. I don't know. I can't get into these types of games. I mean, they're fun. They're cool looking. Maybe I would play it for fun, but I wouldn't be like a diehard fan. But to me, this just looks like Genshin Impact. Although the characters are pretty cool. I don't like gaming on the screen, so I obviously, one of my favorite tools in mobile phone gaming is my Stadia controller, which I also use on Steam on my PC, but I have a mount that I can mount my phone on and turn it into a mobile gaming system. Yes, I still have my Stadia controller, and it's been repurposed. New battery. We got a new battery on iPhone 16. I saw fonts. So you got emergency SOS live video on your iPhone. So when you hit emergency SMS, you can activate your camera so it shows a live video feed to emergency first responders. Messages via satellite. It supports hatbacks on satellite. So they extended satellite to more locations. Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Luxembourg, Netherlands, New Zealand, and damn, I didn't make it through the list. I almost made it. I almost made it. Give me a thumbs up for at least attempting. Not too much really emphasized as far as the camera itself and what it can do. Mostly pandering around the new camera button. So I guess this year, for comparing to Google Pixel 9s, when it comes to the camera comparisons, Apple decided to lead in with its soldier regarding the camera action button. Now we got a little vignette of the iPhone 16 in action. So a little video that they put together. I like the colors. So obviously this is going to be the commercial we're going to see on a lot of streaming services regarding the iPhone 16. Might I advise Apple to stop feeding us the BS with the ceramic shield display because your displays break easily. I have yet to seen an iPhone drop from a human waist height of like, 3.5 feet and survive. Trust me, I've dropped my Google Pixel 8 screen down from like my hip and it survived. Of course, I won't try it again for demonstration because I'll probably get that one lucky shot of cracking the display, and that was without a case. So my heart stopped for like 2 seconds when it happened. I wish iPhones had that kind of screen durability. This guy just throwing the iPhone like that or whatever. Oops, resistant my ass. That's all I'll say to that. Everything else is pretty legit. Got the action button that's multi-purpose, especially you can set it throughout the time of the day, so you can have it to identify music during the daytime and then have it set to where it turns on the flashlight at night and it goes off your clock so it knows when to switch its mode of its activity when you push it. Leap way ahead, Apple. Is that their new slogan now? Here's the price. $799 for the base model, 128 gigs on the iPhone 16, and $899 for 128 gigs on the iPhone 16 Plus. That is true. It does hold its value a lot longer. Up to $800 off. Ooh, if you trade in an iPhone 12 or new, you can get up to $800 off. So I'm thinking like maybe like $300 they'll probably give for the iPhone 12. I don't know. We're going back to Tim, who is going to talk about iPhone 16 Pro. Here we go. iPhone 16 Pro. Oh man. Apple Intelligence has been mentioned a lot more times than I thought it would be. Here we go. The dramatic intro to the 16 Pro. Triple camera setup. Here we go. Camera action button. Oh, and to adjust the zoom and zoom out on the camera action button, you slide it. So it's as well as being a physical button you push, it also is touch capacitive. They've darkened the sky. So this is all pre-filmed. This is not actually live. The Pro display is what they're talking about. 6.3 inches on the regular Pro. 6.9 on the Pro Max. So 6.3 on the Pro, 6.9 on the Pro Max. So they shrunk the bezels even smaller. Large displays, Pro Motion, so up to 120 hertz refresh, always on display. Shut up about the ceramic shield, but it doesn't work. Grade 5 titanium, that's recycled titanium, making them a step towards their carbon neutral 2030 campaign. All right, finished a gallon of water in 3 hours. I gotta refill this and put it back in the freezer. So there's a new chassis made from 100% recycled aluminum. Yeah, 128 gigs, Brian. They're still on that. And so here's my thing as to why I think that a lot of them are using 128 gigs and have not progressed into making 256 the standard. They would rather have you purchase subscriptions for cloud storage. Because if you have cloud storage, 128 gigs doesn't hurt at all to have. Especially if a lot of the material that you have on your device is backed up to the cloud and off your on-device storage, means you have ample room for apps and games. And I think that's the end game goal here, is to push people reliance on cloud, so that way all your important stuff are backed up onto the cloud. You're not going to want to miss your monthly payments on that because you don't want that to be lost. So far, no talks of the iPhone SE 4. They're still talking about Apple Intelligence. This year is all about AI, and going forward is going to be about AI. I can already see this. That's where the battle is going to be taken to now. It was about design. It was about simplicity. It was about user interface. Then it all came about cameras for the last 5 years. Now the battle is fought on the intelligence of the phone in itself. A18 Pro. So now they have two different chips built based upon the base models, right? So you got an A18 and then the A18 Pro. 3 nanometer designed. Are you sure your chip is the first one in the world to use smaller transistors? I'm going to have to fact check that. No, man. %15 faster than A17 Pro. Got a 6-core GPU. 20% faster performance, dynamic caching, mesh shading, And they're saying the same thing again, that it's even comparable to PC CPU processors. So I find that hard to believe, but okay. Uses 20% less power than the A17 Pro. Sorry. It's the fastest CPU in any smartphone. So shots fired at Snapdragon. Shots fired at Qualcomm. Advanced media features only available on the Pro model because you have to have the A18 Pro. So ProMotion display support, always on display support, faster USB 3 speeds, ProRes video recording. It's got a new video encoder. There we go. Shots fired at Google Pixels. What are these new, never before seen camera features? Okay. I like that tight integration. .48 megapixel camera sensor, 24 millimeter focal length, 2.4. Didn't stay up long enough for me to read all the specs on that. .48 megapixel Pro RAW. It eliminates. It's got zero shutter lag. Right. 48 megapixel ultra wide, 13 millimeter focal length, 2.2 aperture. Yeah, that's a good thing. .120 millimeter focal length, 12 megapixel telephoto. So new camera sensors in the iPhone 16 Pros. I'm going to combine that with the new camera button. I'm really sure that's what we're going to hear a lot about from people, is just how much more seamlessly easier it is to take photos on it, how it's so easy to zoom in on shots. I can already see that this is going to be one of the areas they really want a lot of people to focus on. Photographic styles. Like how? So is this going to be their comparison to the Google Pixel 9s and the things you could do with Gemini? That's a beautiful shot. I like that. Wow. So you can make changes after you take the photo. We got video updates. Paulum is going to talk to us about video updates. Cinematic mode in 4K. Yeah, they are. They're fast as hell. Honestly, to get the best smartphone camera, you would need like the camera performances and the sensors that Apple uses for their camera sensors, as far as like shutter speeds and how much light it lets in through the sensor in itself. If you take that and you add that with Google Pixel computational photography, you have a phenomenal fucking smartphone camera. That's all I'm gonna say. And you know what? Just so Samsung doesn't feel like they were left out of the party, I'm gonna throw in their ultra res zoom. Yeah. For the power of 3. I can see it now. It's iPhone camera, Google Pixel, Samsung Galaxy. By your powers combined, I am Captain Smartphone Photography. Shot on iPhone 16 Pro. They always want to show how an iPhone 16 or iPhone Pro model can create a movie trailer. 4K 120. Woo! Oh, yeah. Yes, it does. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. 4K 120 in slow-mo or in regular video mode. You can adjust the playback speed in the Photos app. So you can record it in 4K 120, but you can drop the frame rate to like, 60 frames per second. You can capture 4K 120 in HDR. They've partnered with an app called Kino. I like the different settings, especially with using the grids and using the rule of thirds. They're talking about the audios. Okay. So the 16 Pro has 4 studio mics. So more true to life audio. Spatial audio capture. Okay. So it has audio editing that like separates all the different sounds within the video, isolates them so that way you can adjust them or remove them. Pretty much what Magic Audio Eraser does, but on a different scale, because it just doesn't let you delete them. It lets you adjust the volumes to them, setting things to sound like their background sound and dim them out a little bit, but they're still there, just for that aesthetic, and focus on your subject shot. So if you're recording two people talking, their voices will stand out, and it separates their voices too. So you can actually, if one sounds lower than the other, but you want the conversation to sound, live like and identical, you can raise the volume of the second person of their volume and keep the main person at their volume. So even though you're raising it, they match out. That's pretty damn cool. So voice memo got beefed up. You can actually make songs with it now. You can literally take a beat and it records it, and then you can record your vocals over it, and you can adjust. You can adjust the balance of it. Make sure that the instrumental beat doesn't overpower your voice, or your voice doesn't overpower the beat. So now we're gonna see what people making music just with their iPhone, which is a dawning age of music, because how many people are gonna end up becoming quote unquote musicians just through iPhone? That's gonna be pretty interesting to see. The Weeknd, Dancing in the Flames. My wife would love this. So they shot The Weeknd's music video with the iPhone 16 Pro. I'm going to message my wife this, and she's going to be shocked. I like The Weeknd's music. I don't tell my wife that because she has like a huge crush on him. So it's just like, ugh. Pretty cool. I think my wife will find this to be very interesting. Pretty cool. Yeah, we'll have to see how it works in less ideal lighting. However, shooting the music video for The Weeknd and it being in low lighting, because it was shot inside a studio, lights really down to kind of replicate night, with just some subtle lighting to what you would find. And they did some obviously they did some lighting corrections within the iPhone itself. They were able to achieve a pretty good actual video. They got new MagSafe charging, 2 lengths size for it. Qi 2 charging. All right. They made packaging updates, so new packaging. Seems about right. I mean, Google Pixel 9's got a new package, so they got to have one too. Fiber-based packaging. There they go. Is there? But wait, there's one more. It's one more thing. Is there one more thing? Or is it one more thing as in like, iPhone SE 4? Or one more thing as in iOS 18 is going live today? $999 for iPhone 16 Pro 128 and $1199 for iPhone 16 Pro Max 128. Wow. Up to $1,000 off if you trade in an older device as old as iPhone 12 to newer. It'll be available this Friday for pre-order and available on my daughter's birthday, September 20th. So all the Apple people that's going to be ordering this stuff. Oh, iPhone SE from, wait, is that the new one or old? That's the old one. Never mind. That's their iPhone lineup. No mention of iPhone SE 4. Oh, almost had me there. I said iPhone SE, but that's the third generation iPhone SE for $429 for it. And one more thing. Yes, Apple Watch Series 10. And then the Apple Watch Ultra 2. The AirPods 4. The AirPods 4 Pro. The AirPods Pro 2. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. WatchOS 11. Comfortable new design. Looks like the similar design of my AirPods 3. So no, I won't be upgrading my AirPods 3 to AirPods 4. The AirPods Max has new colors. If you're interested, those are a big deal to you. Makes sense. AirPods Pro 2 are able to be used for a clinical hearing aid. Especially you, Tim. You're getting up there in age, so your hearing's probably not what it used to be. It better be the most advanced iPhone you ever made. It would be really, really stupid to make an iPhone 16 that's less than what the iPhone 15 Pro was. I love the way they speak sometimes. It's so funny. That's right. Give your team recognition. That's what a good boss does. Ended at 11:38 a.m. my time. Are they going to run about 2 minutes of things to just make it an even shot on iPhone, edited on Mac? So yeah, this is not a live thing. It was recorded and all that stuff. So, all right, that was pretty much it. Whew, that was pretty much it. Crazy enough as is. So what do you guys think? Those that actually watched it, what do you guys think? Not taking up too much time, but honestly, just a lot of things really just kind of like core focused on Apple Intelligence, their newly designed A18 and A18 Pro chip, So I mean that's kind of nice. Um, Slightly new design, but at least on the base models. Are the regular models still using 60 hertz panels? I don't. I believe so. It didn't say anything about the iPhone 16 or 16 Plus having ProMotion 120 hertz refresh. That was only mentioned for the 16 Pro and Pro Max. So if you want a higher refresh rate, then you're gonna have to go with the Pro models. If you're, you know, for me, the refresh rates aren't such a big deal. Even on the iPhone 12 that has a 60 hertz refresh, the motions on it are still pretty smooth with iOS. So it's not something that I would look at it and get frustrated on, right? Like, I guess for me, the type of user that I am, a feature has to frustrate me in order for me to find the benefit of using something more modern. If the feature ain't broke, then there's no reason for me to upgrade from it. A 60 hertz refresh display still looks good when watching things moving out throughout my user interface and everything like that. That I don't really find the need to rush and say I have to have 120 hertz. My Pixel 8a supports 120 hertz, and you know what? It's always locked on 60 hertz. I don't ever turn on smooth display. I don't need it. That's why when people ask me like, how is it you can use a Pixel 4 XL and still have decent battery on it? It's because I don't have the 90 hertz refresh turned on. What's the point? Unless there's a absolute true benefit to the experience to have it on, it's not something that I will focus my time on. I would say the event was pretty much okay. The pricings weren't too bad, so they are, basically comparable to like what the Google Pixel 9's released at. So we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. But anyways, I'm a little thirsty. I'm going to get me something to drink. I am also going to be getting me something to eat. And then I'm going to head to social media. And you guys want to know why I'm going to head to social media? I am going to start looking at all the people that's just going to like blow the internet up about the iPhone 16s and why they're so much better than Google Pixels or Samsung Galaxies. It's now the Ice Sheep's time to shine on social media. And holy crap, am I interested in seeing like what conversations are going to spawn. I know that sounds a little fucked up. It sounds like I'm instigating a fight. Actually, I'm not. But I just find it funny when people battle over smartphones. Like, me personally, what people like to use is what they like to use. I don't try to influence people to buy a certain phone. I'll tell you guys a reason why I like a certain phone because I truly do genuinely like it. But I will never like tell people like you have to get this phone to have the best experience ever. Like, no, because sometimes people's experiences are different. And what they want out of an experience is different than what I get. They already just added a button and called it a day. I didn't say it, you did. I didn't say it. But you know what? Because you made me laugh on my live stream, there you go. I'm going to put it there for everybody to see. Yeah. Little small incremental bump ups with the camera sensors, little small incremental bump ups, with the display, with, the A18 Pro chip. I mean, I'm gonna just keep my 14 Pro and use Google A Slide. Yeah, you can do that. One thing that I didn't notice. Well, I mean, I noticed this now, but I didn't notice this during the live stream, and I didn't hear him say anything about it. Anyone that watched it, did you guys see anything that they ever made mention or even put on their little banner postcard that tells you every cool feature about that phone, like the 16 or the 16 Pro? Do you guys see anything that talked about like how much RAM they put into it? I mean, I know you're going to get the spec sheets on it. You're going to be able to know, but they never really focused on that, which I found interesting because they're very pushing for Apple Intelligence. But to me, like, experience with, companies releasing smartphones and stuff like that, if they hadn't focused on like what they did to beef up the iPhone to have it ready for Apple Intelligence, albeit being that they're calling Apple Intelligence the smarter, AI compared to Tensor or, to Gemini and, Galaxy AI. But they made no mention of any core hardware upgrades that would back Apple Intelligence of being smarter. And is this a sign that they really didn't do much just yet, and that there's still a long ways to go for Apple Intelligence? Because they know that the Apple fans are going to be patient. If they're like, yeah, these hardcore, gotta have it in your face, AI is not going to be fully ready until 2025. They know that their own fan base is going to hold off on that. That's inevitable. I guess my eyes got used to 120 hertz. I can see the difference now. I mean, so let me kind of clarify that. Yes, you can see a difference between 120 hertz and 60 frames. I can see a difference in 120 hertz and 60 frames. I can even see a difference in 90 hertz to 60 hertz. I don't know how long you've been following my channel, but those have been following me, since way back in like 2012, known me to be able to even see pixels on a display. Earlier display panels from back in 2012, 2013, 2014, I used to bitch about being able to see those little pixel. I used to be able to, because the resolutions of displays have gotten so much better from what it was back then to what it is now. So yes, I can see the difference. The thing is that seeing a difference is just being able to notice, oh, okay, the refresh rate of this display at 120 hertz is significantly faster than 60 hertz. And that's making, a observation. What I'm saying is that having the display that smooth, 120 hertz refresh, doesn't do anything for me other than say, oh, that looks nice and fast. Like, it doesn't, compute my commands faster by, several milliseconds. It doesn't enrich a lot of what I'm watching. Okay, the only time I've really seen 120 hertz refresh make any pivotal thing to say, oh, that's pretty cool and I gotta have it type of thing in a way, is actually watching video that I've recorded natively on a device to get that smooth editing experience, and then gameplay, which most of the games that I play don't really benefit from 120 hertz refresh. Like, you can clearly see a difference in them, but it doesn't make me say I'm not playing this game because it looks like shit. That's what I mean. Like, if I'm playing, Ninjas Must Die, which is a 2D side running game, 120 hertz refresh to 60 hertz refresh, yes, you can clearly see a difference in character animations, but I am still enjoying it even though it's 60 hertz refresh. Recording video, recording in 4K, 60 frames, and I'll be able to see it, and it's still smooth. So that's the reason why, like I said, it's not an importance for me to have. I'm not knocking it down and say that it's a useless feature. Other people will find it to be useful. Gamers especially find 120 hertz refresh rate to be useful. As a matter of fact, they really wish that most like Google Pixels and Samsung would start pushing 144 hertz refresh. Kind of like what the Asus ROG phone does. Because they love that real-to-life motion movement animations in any type of gameplay, especially first-person view games and free world games, like Genshin Impact and all that. The animations you see on that, obviously, 120 hertz refresh is going to make the experience significantly better. But for the things that I do on my phone, like checking email, Facebook, X, Threads, checking out people's posts on Clapper, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, 120 hertz refresh doesn't make those experiences absolutely terrible without it, is what I'm trying to say. But yes, you definitely can see a difference. And it is harder for those who are like asking that question, like, how come it's so hard for people to go on 120 hertz refresh back down to 60? Because when you set your settings to 120 hertz and your eyes have become so used to seeing that on your display, because you got to remember, you got a brain, and your brain records information. And so your brain has recorded that your device has 120 hertz refresh motion on the display itself, that once you've become accustomed and used to seeing everything in 120 hertz or up to 120 hertz, when you scale down to 60, things are going to look lackluster because you have watched just about almost everything in between 90 to 120 hertz refresh. You gotta remember, like, a lot of things are not 100% dedicated, stuck on 120 hertz. That's one of the other reasons why that I put a custom ROM on my Pixel 8a. It has 120 hertz refresh rate on it. When you turn on smooth display, it only turns on the 120 hertz refresh when it feels it's needed. So with the custom ROM, I actually have it built into the settings where you can actually force it to be at max 120 hertz refresh rate at all times. if you wanted to take advantage of that. Right. So there's that. I am about to end this off here. We did nearly a 2-hour live stream. Everyone that hung out with me, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And I am sorry that I'm not able to actually like show you guys the actual event. That way it could have been a watch party. I wish Apple would just stop being so anal about it and just be like, okay, you know what? Like, YouTube content creators are our friends. It's not taking anything away from them because like why like unless the real reason why they do it is because they're reliant on the ad revenue that they would get from people coming into their live streams specifically. But some people would rather watch the live stream with their favorite content creator and have a watch party, and I really love doing those. And it just sucks that Apple's that strict about things. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys would have probably had a fun time if we had a watch party event, and a lot of you guys were commenting and saying, and even some of you guys, like I could have sent out invites to have people join me on a live panel watching it and reacting. That would have been really cool. So I'm sorry that I didn't have any really good visuals other than like a little looped little reel to cycle through. But I still appreciate everyone that came, stayed, hung out with me, and chatted. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. So I'll leave you guys at that. Happy Monday, beginning of the week. You guys take it easy. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks. And by the way, if you would like to try Helium Mobile, there's a QR code there on the screen. Scan it. You get your first month for free on me. Use my promo code when signing up. Fill out all the information necessary to create an account with Helium Mobile. And at the checkout page, look for where it says apply promo. Plug in my promo code and your first month will be free. And then $20 after that every month following. Forgot to make mention of that. All right, guys. I love you guys very much. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your Monday.